Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family. In today's video, we'll be predicting who is going to win the Nations League final and the Nations League bronze place. Obviously, the Nations League bronze place has just been added. So, France will be facing off versus Germany in the third place spot. And Spain will be facing off Portugal, obviously, in the final. First game to discuss is obviously Germany versus France. There we go. No. I gotta have one. There has to be a bigger one. No. There we go. France versus Germany. Quickly to talk about the previous performances. I felt Germany, they lacked identity. I didn't see how they were supposed to do anything apart from give it to Wirtz and hopefully he does something. The goal that they scored, it was a bit fugazi, but I mean, it's a great cross from Kimmich to Wirtz. Basically, the only two world-class players in that Germany squad, they created the goal together, but they would need more than that. Again, we saw it wasn't enough versus Portugal, and it won't be enough versus France. They will have to do more, both Kimmich and Wirtz. Obviously, Fred Mabar predicting Fulkrug to come in. Gnabry as well from the starting spot. Gnabry, Sané, Fulkrug, Vlomint, or wherever that guy's name is. I mean, is it that big of a difference? Pascal Gross, they're predicting to come in for Pavlovic. Yeah, I didn't think Pavlovic was that great, but I think maybe Bischoff, and I don't understand, is Stiller injured or is he not in the squad? But yeah, it wasn't the best performance from Germany. Quality was lacking. I talked about comparing this squad to the Euro squad. Toni Kroos not being there, Musiala not being there, Rudiger and Schlotterbeck in the defense not being there. But yeah, we'll see what Germany has to do in this game. France, on the other hand, they perform well, but the individual mistakes at the back and the lack of clinicality and just overall ball progression from this France side costed them versus Spain, conceding 5 goals. So you're not going to go through, despite scoring 4 goals. If I told you France would score 4 goals versus Spain, you would believe they have gone through. But they conceded 5, which was completely embarrassing. They were obviously missing a lot of key defenders. Lucas Hernandez now predicted to come into the starting 11, and Gusto. I think that's much better for France than Lenglet and Kalulu. Ousmane Dembele obviously got injured, so he's not going to be playing. Turkey should definitely be starting. They have Kolomwani here. I could still see Olise being started. I know they had a off game versus Spain, but should still probably be Olise, Turkey, and Due in the attack. And going into this game, I don't know how much these players will care. We've seen, third place games being played before in the World Cup, and teams don't care that much. The last one was Morocco versus Croatia. One before that, I believe, was Belgium versus England. So I don't know how much these players will care about these games individually, but yeah, I think France will win this game. I think they have better individual talent and quality than Germany. And they won't be punished, as Spain punished them when they do make defensive mistakes. And obviously the Germany defense and even goalkeeper is weaker than what Spain had to offer. And yeah, I'm predicting France to win. I believe it was a 2-1 victory. I believe I have to France winning third place in the Nations League. Yeah. And now moving on, obviously, to the big game. The game that everyone cares about. The game that everyone is talking about. The game that has a lot of excitement, which is Spain versus Portugal. Great semi-final matchup to quickly talk about, final matchup to quickly talk about their previous semi-finals. Spain, in my opinion, I've seen better Spain sides in terms of control. I don't like that Spain midfield, Pedri playing that offensive role, Zubimendi, Merino. They're still predicting the same midfield. Fabian Ruiz should obviously be coming in instead of Mikel Merino, adding a lot of balance into that midfield. I feel the defense was good despite conceding 4 goals. Same with Simon, he was good as well in the game. Yamal and Williams were very great in the game as well. Oyarzabal as a false 9. He got 2 assists. It was a great assist to Merino, a cheeky assist to Nico Williams early on. So Spain will feel very confident, managing to beat France despite conceding that many goals. With France having Dembele, Due, Portugal is not that dangerous offensively. They're heavy reliant, obviously, on Nuno Mendes on that left side, Bruno Fernandes from the central areas, and if Ronaldo can do something special. Portugal, on the other hand, I think this was one of the best Portugal performances I've seen under Roberto Martinez versus Germany. They obviously went down. That was a bit against the game of play. But yeah, it was a convincing performance, in my opinion, from Portugal. Conceição obviously should be in the starting lineup this time from the get-go. They're predicting Jota to be the left winger instead of Pedro Neto. I would still play Leao. I would still just give it a try. Predicting a Vitinha and Bernardo Silva. Just start Vitinha Neves. Like, I don't know why Roberto Martinez wants to over-respect Bernardo Silva. He's not that player anymore. He's just not that player. I know that Pep still cocksocks him, but we shouldn't care. Semedo to start as well. That would be good. Costa, Diaz, and Inacio were good in that game as well. And how do I feel? I don't know. I see this game being different, obviously. France, usually a more defensive, conservative side, but they were missing a lot of key defenders. And Deschamps played differently than he played in the Euros. He played the 4-2-3-1 instead of the 4-3-3. So a bit more open and offensive. Whilst Portugal, they will be more defensive in this game. I see them sitting back way more than France, letting Spain have the ball, and then hitting Spain on the counter. Obviously, for me, the ones to watch, the ones to look out for in this game is that Yamal, Nuno Mendes 1v1. Nuno Mendes' toughest opponent is Yamal, and Yamal's toughest opponent is Nuno Mendes. This will be a great matchup between Nuno Mendes and Yamal. When it comes to Nico Semedo, it'll be interesting, but that's basically how I see the game being decided. How much can Nuno do against Yamal? If he can nullify Yamal to a certain extent, then Portugal can get a moment. I don't know about Portugal offensively. I said it's a lot of Nuno Mendes reliance. And obviously Conceição scored a magical goal. So that's what Portugal will be needing against Spain. They will be needing some magic and a lot of great defensive resilience from Inacio, Diaz, the rest of the team, and obviously Diego Costa having a great goalkeeping performance. But Spain will be looking to improve their performance from that first game. Portugal, they could do it. They could do it. Obviously, Spain, they've won the Euros. They experienced. They know how to win. Portugal, I think they reached the quarterfinals of the Euros last season. I don't know how they will be feeling for this game. But they definitely want to win. Majority of these players, they will be their first silverware. I know that Ronaldo won the Nations League and obviously has the Euros as well. But for a lot of these players, it will be their first trophy. So I see the Portuguese national team be extremely hungry for this upcoming game. Spain, as I said, they have the experience. They won the Euros. They know that they can win. They beat France, so they will feel confident ahead of themselves. Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. Ronaldo, it's a huge game. If he wins it, and lifts his third trophy with Portugal against a very great Spain side as well, would be obviously a huge prop for him. All the Paris Saint-Germain players, Nuno Mendes, Gonçalo Ramos, Vitinha, João Neves will get their first trophy as well. Obviously, my bias, it will be with Portugal. Supported Portugal versus Germany, supported France versus Spain. So I'll be supporting Portugal in this game. And my prediction, it's a bit boring, but it's a 2-2. A bit similar to when Real Madrid faced Atletico Madrid. Obviously, it did go to extra time. So that's basically what I'm predicting, a 2-2 extra time. And then whoever wins it, wins it. Could even be a 1-1 as well, going into extra time. But that's going to be my prediction. I think, obviously, Spain are coming in as the favorites, but that's just my feeling. That's my opinion. And as I said, I was a bit impressed by Portugal's performance versus Germany, comparing it to previous Portugal performances under Roberto Martinez. So, yeah. Let's see how it goes. Let me know in the comments down below. What's your prediction? No, actually, who is going to win the Nations League? Spain or France? Spain or Portugal? And who are you going to be supporting in this game? That's been your phone boy PS Gent. Hopefully, guys have enjoyed this video. And as usual, allez, Paris.